So we are done with your numbers 1 to 13. Let's proceed with 14 to 20. So for your number 14, barium sulfate can be taken internally without causing any toxicity because letter B, it does not dissociate in the GIT. So remember, your barium sulfate is less soluble than either calcium or strontium sulfates. So barium sulfate is less soluble than calcium sulfate or strontium sulfate, and the solubility in acids is low, that large quantities of it can be ingested without untoward reactions. So the answer, it does not dissociate in the GIT. Number 15, acids have the following description except letter C, it gives solutions with pH above 7. Except, so your acids have above 7 is your basic solutions, and while your acids have pH below 7. So kapag neutral naman, 0 ay 7 pH. So your acids, the definition here, it liberates protons in solution, it neutralizes base, and it gives sour taste. So for your basic naman, your basic neutralizes acid on the other hand, and the taste of your basic is bitter taste, and also it has pH above 7. So the answer here is letter C. This is the definition of your basics. Number 16, which of the following is the drug of choice to combat systemic acidosis? That is letter B, your potassium bicarbonate. So your potassium bicarbonate is the drug of choice to combat systemic acidosis. Yadi ay? Talatan ay itidor. Your potassium bicarbonate is the drug of choice to combat systemic acidosis. So for your sodium bicarbonate, this is used for as acid. It is used in acid neutralization, and it is used to combat gastric hyperacidity, combat systemic acidosis, and for miscellaneous uses. So your sodium bicarbonate is used in as a drug of choice for gastric hyperacidity and as a systemic mali. Potassium bicarbonate. Your potassium bicarbonate is used to combat gastric hyperacidity and your drug of choice for systemic acidosis because of its acid neutralizing properties. So number 17, this metal in the form of tin foil is used as a protective for burn treatment due to its property of conserving fluids and of stimulating tissue growth. So the answer here is letter B, aluminum. So a tin aluminum foil has been used in the burn treatment with remarkable results. So ang shortcut lang nito is a tin aluminum foil is used as a protective for burn treatment. So aluminum is used as a protective for burn treatment. Okay? Number 18, both iron and copper are found in which respiratory enzyme? That is your letter B, cytochrome oxidase. So your The respiratory enzyme found in iron and copper is your cytochrome oxidase. Number 19, plaster of Paris is chemically your letter D, calcium sulfate with 2 molecules of water. Plaster of Paris is chemically your calcium sulfate and times 2 molecules of water. It is used mostly for preparing bandages that will set up into a rigid form when wet with water and wound into a limb. So it is used for the preparation of bandages. Okay. Number 20, gases considered officially as pharmaceutical inhalant. The answer here is all of the above. Your carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, and oxygen are considered as pharmaceutical inhalants. So, your nitrous oxide is officially recognized as a general anesthetic for use by inhalation. Your oxygen will relieve all pathological conditions that are accompanied by cyanosis and dyspnea, and it contains 5 to 7.5% of carbon dioxide, which are efficacious as a respiratory stimulant in the treatment of poisoning by your carbon monoxide, alcohol, morphine, methanol, and in all cases of depressed respiration. And carbon dioxide stimulates the vasomotor as well as the respiratory center. So, your nitrous oxide is used as a general anesthetic. Your oxygen is used for the treatment of cyanosis and dyspnea. Your carbon dioxide is used as a respiratory stimulant and as used in the treatment of poisoning of carbon monoxide, alcohol, morphine, methanol, and all cases of depressed respiration. Also, your carbon dioxide stimulates the vasomotor as well as the respiratory center. Okay. Number 21. It is also known as salt-forming group of elements. That is your letter E, halogens. Berzelius suggested the word halogen, which is derived from the Greek word meaning sea salt and to produce, and consequently means the producer of sea salt. So, halogen is derived from the Greek word meaning sea salt and to produce, which means the producer of sea salt. That is your halogen. Number 22, the major side effect from the use of barium sulfate suspension as radiopaque is constipation. So, the major side effect of barium sulfate as radiopaque is constipation, letter A. Number 23, aluminum silicate possesses anti-diarrheal property is your calamine. So, your calamine is used as anti-diarrheal property. While your kaolin is a native of hydrated aluminum silicate and is used internally for adsorptive properties and its ability to coat irritated intestinal mucosa. It is useful in diarrhea where the cause is food poisoning or organisms causing dysentery. So, kapag calamine or kapag aluminum silicate ang tinatanong, the answer is calamine. Kapag native hydrated aluminum silicate naman, that is your kaolin. Both have the same anti-diarrheal property. And also, your kaolin is used in the treatment of food poisoning or organism causing dysentery. Number 24. Fellings and Benedict's reagent is used to determine the presence of reducing sugars, contain which salt is your cupric sulfate, which is used extensively in the determination of reducing sugars. So your Fellings and Benedict's reagents is used to determine the presence of reducing sugar, which contains your cupric sulfate. Take note also that your Benedict solution is less alkaline than your Fellings, and it utilizes citrate, which is better as a sequestering agent. So your Benedict solution is better than your Fellings solution as a sequestering agent. And also it is less alkaline than your Fellings. Okay, number 25, substance added to glass to improve its coefficient of expansion. The answer here is letter B, which is your, letter A, which is letter B, or also known as your boron. Relationship na data. So your manganese oxide must the blue-green color of the iron usually present in silica, that is the use of manganese oxide. It must the blue-green color of the iron usually present in silica, while your potassium gives brown and light resistant glass. Your lead increases the refractive index. So, and lastly, your boron is the substance added to glass to improve its coefficient of expansion. So your boron is used to improve its coefficient of expansion. Your potassium gives brown and light resistant glass. Your manganese oxide must the blue-green color of the iron, and your lead increases the refractive index. Okay, number 26. Which vitamin enhances physiological utilization of calcium in the body? That is your vitamin D. It is essential for the maximum absorption of calcium and is reflected in the market to which vitamin D has been added. So your calcium preparation has been added with vitamin D for maximum absorption. Okay, number 27. Goiter is caused by the lack of iodine in the body, letter B. So, lack of sufficient iodine in the diet results to enlargement of the thyroid gland and will result to colloid goiter, or in short, your goiter. So, the usual daily requirement of iodine for an average man is approximately 200 micrograms per day. Take note of that. The average requirement of iodine in the body is approximately 200 micrograms. So, lack of iodine will result to goiter, or the enlargement of the thyroid gland resulting to your goiter. Simple or colloid goiter. Number 28. Salts of this metal ion are used as mood stabilizer in psychiatry, which is your lithium, particularly your lithium bromide. Your lithium bromide has been used as a sedative because of its central depressant properties. So it is depressant to the nerve centers and in circulation. Thus, it is used as a mood stabilizer. So, kapag may nakikita kayong lithium na element, it is always connected with mood stabilizer or sedative, or it has central depressant properties. Okay, number 9, the element present in hemoglobin which plays an important role in oxygen transport. The answer here is letter C, which is your iron. So the element present in hemoglobin which plays an important role in oxygen transport is your iron, letter C. Number 30, besides activated charcoal and tannic acid, the other component of universal antidote is your magnesium oxide. So, together, your universal antidote is composed of your activated charcoal, your tannic acid, and your magnesium oxide. So, your magnesium oxide is used as an antacid, and also to a lesser extent, it is also used as a laxative. So, its water absorptive property is utilized in compounding and preserving powdered drug extracts. So, in short, your magnesium oxide is used as an antacid, and to a lesser extent or lower dose, it is also used as your laxative and a component of your activated component of your universal antidote. So again, memorize the three components of your universal antidote: your activated charcoal, your tannic acid, and your magnesium oxide. Number 31, in the form of its salt, this ion is essential to life, being the structural basis of skeleton and also an important factor in blood coagulation, is your calcium. Take note, the word here is skeleton and blood coagulation. So, kapag may nakita kayong ditong na skeleton and blood coagulation, the ion essential is your calcium. Okay. So, your calcium is the structural basis of the skeleton and the like tissue. Also, it is used as a factor in blood coagulation.